Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Babatunde. Today I'm gonna show you how to add donation to your existing website. So you probably have a website already, and for some reason now you want to receive donations from anybody on your website to help with your website or to help with some kind of fundraising that you're doing. This will be an ideal video for you to have a look at. So if you already have a website, what you have to do is go to the back end of your website, which is your admin section. Like it's on my screen here. The first thing you want to do is on the left hand side, you can see something called plugins. Select that and select add plugins. On the screen that appears, what you want to do is under the search plugins, select, since we're trying to do donation, let's try with say donation. And on the screen that appears, we can see many donation plugins. My favorites are the donation platform for WooCommerce by Jonas and GiveWP donation plugins and fundraising platform by Stella WP. On this video, I will be demonstrating the GiveWP, and also please watch out or look out for the donation platform by Jonas to follow. So what we want to do is select install now on the GiveWP, and that should install the plugin for us. And once installed, the button should change to activate. Click on the activate button. This should activate the plugin for us. So if we go back to the left hand side, and on the menus we'll see GiveWP menu, select the campaign menu, which is a sub menu of GiveWP. Select that, and the screen that appears says that there should be two buttons, one that says create campaign, and if you scroll down, if it's not already showing on your screen, the bottom section says create campaign as well, which is another button. What we're trying to do is create a campaign for our fundraising. So click on either of this button. It should bring up a window screen. It says tell us about your fundraising course. The first question there will be, what's the title of your campaign? So the title of my campaign, we can say, I don't know, add new books to the library. So maybe the library is old, or the library is missing some books, and there are more students available in the school or wherever the library is that requires that same or those same books. So it would be a good idea to raise money to buy more books to be used. So it says the next question, what's your campaign about? This is where you get the opportunity to tell them about why you want to do the fundraising, why you want money for the books. So you can say things like, the library is very low on books. We can leave it at that, or you can type more stuff, but I'm just going to leave it as simple as possible. The library is very low on books. Very low on books. More students require the same, or required, more students require more books. Or something like that. It doesn't really matter, so long as you give them the purpose of your fundraising. The next thing you want to do is you probably want to put, they say a picture tells 1,000 words. So you probably want to put a picture whereby people can see the purpose of your fundraising, the picture that goes along with it. So for instance, in this occasion, we can say, if we hit this select here, and if we hit this section here, or this one, um, let's go with this one. It doesn't really matter for now. It's just a demonstration purpose. You can see now you have image here as your cover image. So you can remove the image if you don't want it. You can change the cover image if you don't want it. But on this occasion, we're going to click the continue button. The next screen is where you want to set up your campaign goals. You know, what is your goal? For instance, it says, how would you like to set up your goals? Do you want your goals to be the amount raised, or the number of donations, or number of donors? On this occasion, we're going to go with the amount raised. So just by looking at the fundraising on the website, we can see what we're trying to achieve. We can see what we're trying to aim for in terms of targeted amount. So we select, or we leave the amount raised selected. The next thing is, okay, the amount raised, but how much do we actually want to raise? So for instance, for a number of books, we can say we want to raise 10,000 pounds. I know here it's saying dollars. I will actually show you how to change this in somewhere in this video. So hit the continue button. Now the campaign is created. Even though the campaign is created, it is not yet published. For it to be published, like it says here, your campaign page won't be visible until it is published. So because it's not published yet, it cannot be seen. So for it to be seen, what we want to do is we want to click the edit campaign button, and we select the publish and publish again. If we go back to the campaign itself, here we can see that we've got settings, which is the same as what you just entered to create all this. You have forms as well. So on the forms, you actually have shortcodes that you can use to display on your front screen. So for instance, if we select this shortcode for now, if we copy that, also if we select the form, here, this is the design of the form we currently have here that we're going to use. So, but the opportunity you have here for each form on your fundraising campaign, you have the ability to select, say, the build. So here we might say whoever is donating this, if we exit the top for now, however, if we say for instance somebody is donating and want to know, or the person wants to be anonymous, we can select this and put in there. So now we know this button is going to appear, so you can check it. It's not a button, sorry. The checkbox is going to appear so that it can be selected for either being anonymous, or if not selected, to show the name of the donor. So the next thing as well is you might want to have donor comments. So because sometimes when you get comments from donor, it is a good thing either way. So they probably be saying, oh, thank you so much for this opportunity, or thank you for raising money for the school, or thank you for things like that, which will help other people when they come to your website to see what people, the donors, are saying, and encourage them to donate as well. So In that case, what we can do is publish this form again because we've changed the design. If we go back to the design, we can't see it here, but when we do the donation, the actual donation, we'll see that screen and those changes, we should be able to see them. So now if we go back to campaign, if we select the campaigns, so under campaigns, we know we have one now. If we just create another couple, one or two, um, just for comparison. So if we now say create campaign again, what's the campaign about? We can say clean water project, for instance, clean water project. And what's the campaign about? Why do we want to raise this clean water project? So we can say the villagers often, well, the villagers have to go 5 miles just to fetch a bucket of water, or just to fetch water. So now the same thing we did before, we're gonna add a cover image, select that, and we select, say, want clean water, we select that, and we insert it. We can see the image here now, and say continue. Now when we say continue, how would you like to set up your goals? Once again, we want to leave it as the amount raised. What amount do we want to raise for the water? Say 20,000, and we say continue. Now remember, because we've created a campaign doesn't mean it's visible. It is not visible until we actually publish it. So we go over here, we hit the publish and publish again, and we can go back to the screen where we were. That's to the campaign screen. So here the campaign screen. Remember this form here, the clean water form, project form, we didn't add anonymous or comments by the donors. So we're gonna see the difference or the differences between the two of them when donations are being made. So the other thing is, if your campaign is quite lengthy and you can't really, where you don't want to spend too much time trying to create a new one all the time, what you can do is you can actually click the duplicates button here, and you can say confirm you want to duplicate it. So here you can now edit the duplicated one. So we can see that it's clean water project copy, but we don't want it to be called clean water project. We want it to be called something totally different. So what we need to do is we say go to settings, and in settings here we can see the title. We can change it to something else, say probably electricity for the village or something like that. Electric for the village. And we can see something like should the village have electricity, command, lives would be better Then the next thing we want to do is we want to change the cover photo. So we're talking about electricity, so we can probably just select the electricity bulb here. If you haven't, remember, you can go and upload your own image that you want to use for your particular campaign. So in this occasion, we shall update the campaign. Okay. Since we copied this, we might probably want to change. So in here, it still says Clean Water Projects. That is the form that it is using, even though it's electricity. So we can add a new form or rename this form and remove this form. But for now, we'll just leave it. It doesn't really matter for what the purpose for what we're trying to do. So if we go back to campaigns, now we have 3. Let's just copy another one. Let's duplicate another one. Let's have, say, 4 or 5. Confirm. And let's say edit this and say go to settings. We can say new hospital block. So we can say a new hospital block would help admit and resolve more issues with patients. Then the next thing, we want to change the cover again, so we can select hospital in this case, and we can either change the form settings again or just add campaign. So we've added a campaign. If we go back to campaigns, now we can see the different campaigns and all the different goals that we've set up for them. We didn't change the goals. We should have, but it doesn't really matter. It's just a target that we're aiming for. So the next thing we want to do is, in fact, if we go back to say Clean Water Project or add new books for the library, if we click on that and we go to forms, I think we selected one of these already. If we say copy shortcode, the shortcode is copied for the add new books. So if we go to the front end, for instance, I would say edit with Elementor. So what we want to do is we can find a place where we want to post our stuff. So for instance, if we create a new section and say I don't know, just split it into, just select something like that. And here we say, if you search for the word shortcode, I can drag that and put that in here. So we can actually paste the copied information here. Although it's not showing now, but once published, and then we can view it. If we scroll down, we can see it here. So we can actually see the donation form and we can use it directly from here. So for instance, what's our donate? How much would you like to donate today? We can say we want to donate 25. Oh, we're still showing US dollars. We need to change that in a minute after this. So we can also do custom amount, but let's select 25 pounds, dollars in this case for now, and say donate now. So you see, remember we set the form to actually check if the person wants to be anonymous or not. So if we decide the person wants to be anonymous, we can select that. We can say next. We can leave a comment. It is with joy that I am donating to this event. Is made. Click next. So now we can see the payment details. We can see the donation summary, which is payment amount is £25, which is what we selected. Giving frequency is a one time, because for you to be able to use recurring donation, you will need to activate the recurring section of it in setup, and that means you will have to pay as well. So reoccurrence actually helps to receive more money being donated automatically. So it's a good thing to actually have it on your site. So if this was a real site, I'll have that and use it. Otherwise, this will do the same thing for you without reoccurring. So next thing you can see, this says test mode is enabled. While in test mode, no live donations are processed. This is correct because we are not connected to, for instance, Stripe or PayPal, so we can't receive payment for credit card and stuff because this is just a demo purpose. So I have selected to use test mode. But in your case, on a live system, you will be attached to, you will have to attach yourself to the Stripe or any other payment gateway that is available. You can also donate with offline donation. Offline donation just means you write in a check. In fact, if we select this, so you can write your check payable to the company name, right? And it tells you what to do with the check and where to mail the check to. You know, once that's all done, you can say donate now, and we can see donation. This is successful now. That's a success. So an email will be sent to the donor, who is James Smith. Email address jd@gmail.com. Payment status is pending, which means we can go to the back end and adjust this in a minute. But normally, if we're using a different payment method, it will go through. Because this is an offline donation that we did, that is why it's pending, because they will be waiting for the check to arrive. And once the check is arrived and the check clears, then they can go to the back end and mark the status of the payment to complete. Okay, so we can say anonymous donation as well, set to yes, so it's anonymous donation. So if you can go to the dashboard. Here you can see the dashboard. You can see number of donations, lifetime donations, and average donations. You can actually see your donation history. So donation history for James Smith has only donated once, and the donation is still pending. Uh, you can go ahead. He can change his profile, um, create a new password, and things like that, and log out or log in. But on this occasion, what we want to do is, if we go back Okay, here, which is our screen, which is where we added that section for it. Looking at this again, we can see that even though here you can donate button, there is no way of visitors finding their ways through the menu system to get here apart from as a landing page, and which might be good, which might not be good. But on this occasion, what we're going to do is we're going to remove it. In fact, we remove the whole section. What we're probably going to do, let's publish that again, let's save that. So what we're going to do is from here, we have 4 campaigns that we can use. So what we can probably do here is we can create a new page. We go here, say new page. We can just say remove that. We can say change it to Elementor full width, and we can say edit with Elementor. We can do that. This, and we can say here we want to, for instance, look for all the give WP items here. In fact, what we can do is let's pretend this is the other top one. So what we want to do is want to put all the give WP campaign grid in here. So what happened is we have 4 campaigns and all the campaigns are put here in full width, which doesn't really look good. So what we can do is we can say go to layout and change from full to triple, because I believe when you have 3 columns on a page, it looks better than probably 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are all our campaign. These are the campaigns that we created earlier on, so we can see them from here. So if we publish this now and we go to view on another tab, we can see them here. We can easily select one of them, continue, and say we want to 25. MS at gmail.com. That's the test mode. That's the donation with test mode. So we say submit. We can see the donations is completed because it's as if they you know we've paid using credit card or PayPal, so transaction is complete. Unlike the other one where we had to send the check away and wait for the check to be cleared and before we can set it to completed. So in this case now, if we close this and if we go to our home page again, not our home page, because we actually created this from here. There is a new page, so there's no way of going from the main page, from the menu or otherwise, to this page here, because we've not attached it to a menu. But if we view it again, um, we can see that the clean water project that we donated £25 to is now showing as £25, but in this case it's showing as dollars. So on here, what we can do as well is we have 4 images here, and if you wanted to have a scroll, horizontal scroll, what you can do is, for instance, here on one page we said to display up to 6, but if we decide to display up to 3, we can see the pagination buttons here. So we know there are 2 pages. We can go to the next page and we can see it, or we can go back and see it. Also, we can decide to hide the pagination, which means only these 3 will always show anywhere else. So this would probably be ideal for if you're using a short code or something like that. We can also go here again and search for give WP, and we can say get a particular campaign and put here, and we can also say on the right side of this we want to have the title, which in this case is probably going to be the same as add new books to the library. And then we can also add text, which can be obviously this description here, but I'm just going to leave default text here for now. The next thing is we can say, if we go back to the give again WP, we can say we want to have the campaign goal, which we can still put on that same section there. We have the campaign goal. We can also, so basically what I'm trying to say is you can use this on Elementor. So you can use Elementor to design this information the way you like it to look, how pretty you like it to look, or how simple or how stylish you want it to look. So here, when you select the goal, you can select from the drop down what you want to go there so it will match. And then in that case, what you can do is you can decide to come back here, decide not to show the description anymore, and decide not to show the amount. So this and this will go hand in hand. So this will have all the information that's required on this side. Okay. So the same thing, you can add another one here. You can just continue with your page here. So what happened is you publish this. In fact, you can add one more. Say you can go back to give WP, and you can say you want the campaign comments for that particular campaign. So you can do this, and you can add also the donor and things like that. So we know this is not going to show campaign unless we set it up during the design of the form. Um, so if we save this again, you could also say you're going to add the donors or the stats. And so I want to add the campaign donors here. And if you publish, if we view this, that's the top one that we did. And here is for a particular add new books to the library. So that's empty and that's empty. So because we've not added anything. So if we click on that, I'm not quite sure why it's doing this. But if we carry on and we select say 250, leave it, do not make it anonymous, put a comment in there. Oh, this got comment, so that's good. I am happy to be donating. I would say and then we say okay, donation successful. If we go back here, we can see our donation here, and if we go back to our page, we can see here it's showing us already. So if we go to a new tab, we can see it tells us James Smith, my top donors. So basically what I'm trying to say is you can use Elementor to design it as much as you want, as lovely as you can get it. And the next thing what you want to do is to be able to get to that page from your menu. So what we can do is if we close that and then go back here again, let's see what we got here. Actually we can clear that down. If we go here and we say we wanted to add a new menu that's going to point to our new page, what we want to do is we go back here and we go to pages, still we're on pages, and this is our page. The naming is not very ideal, is it? So we can change that. You can just call it donation. Okay, so that's updated. So if we go back here, we have our donation name. So what we can do here is actually, because we know the name here, what we can do is we can just go to appearance and go to um, go to menus And on the menu, what we want to do is we can see donation here. We can select that, add to menu. It will come here. So we can leave it there as one, or we can rearrange it whichever way we want. So we put it after service, put it here, and save the menu. Once that's saved, what you want to do is you can just go here, and if you refresh this screen now, we can see we have our donation screen there. So from here, we don't have anything anymore, but we can just say, look at that donation menu. So we have now a menu for donation. If we click on that, that'll take us to our page, and we can choose whatever we want to donate, and that is it. If you have any questions, please comment below and I shall respond to you as quickly as possible. Thank you for watching.